We are on. Thank you, Vidhan. Thank you, everybody. Today, Vidhan is going to speak on a very, very special topic, that is PanchaPakshi. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Great to see some old timers here, like Alokji. So, PanchaPakshi is a system. First, we in the English world were introduced to it by this book by S Pullipani, published by Ranjan Publications, called Biorhythms of the Natal Moon. It became an instant hit, and I'll give a bit lengthy background to this. It became an instant hit because of the simplicity of it, being in tabular calculation. And many people were able to use quite a lot in it. Then there are books in the South which had a slightly modified table. Then there's this book which I had gotten hold of from Narasimha Tembe Maharaj had written it. I used to visit Narasimha way back in 2008, couple of times a year I visited. Very, very spiritual place, very Jagrat place. And that was in Marathi, so I needed help of few people. Unfortunately, I could not take it ahead. And yet still the system works wonders. Many people look into it. So 5 birds, Pancha Pakshi means 5 birds. And the only thing, at the end of it, Pullipani Ji had said that it should not be misused. The system should not be misused for one's super selfish gains. And we try to define selfishness as the need of the hour. We intelligent, educated lot try to show it off as the need of the hour. I would like to stress a bit more here that in some paramparas, Sukinder ji, can I?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll request everybody to mute themselves and they can unmute if need be. So, for each Pakshi, a mantra is given in those paramparas. And they are supposed to master that mantra, get siddhi of that mantra. I've come across one gentleman who, and it takes some long, when you're using such a short and sweet system, there will always come some things attached to it. But you need not know the parampara, and you can still get quite a bit of benefit out of it. And today, Vidhan Pandya would explain to you how he has incorporated in his software and how you can use it. And he'll be as systematic as possible. All over to you, Vidhan.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for the background. Do you want to invoke for the blessings?
Sure. That will be nice. Let us pray to Lord Ganpati. Let us pray to Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Goddess Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, the 7 rishis, and all the gurus of the past, and also to the PanchaPakshi gurus and the Siddha. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So as Sunil sir mentioned, today the topic is going to be PanchaPakshi. He has given us a lot of background about this topic. Let me start with this system. So this system, as we know, PanchPakshi stands for 5 birds. So it's based on 5 birds. 5 birds are nothing but the symbolism of Panchatatvas also to certain extent. But again, it is more to do with the symbolism and the symbology which is associated with the system. Now, this system has a practical application in probably all fields of a human life, right? It can be used in Horary, it can be used for natal horoscopy, it can be used for mundane astrology also. So, I mean, it has like, it's a very unique system by itself. It's a complete system by itself. If you know and master the system, then you don't need any other system, right? Very diverse, has very deep meaning. That, as Sunil sir also mentioned, that in some paramparas they also practice mantras to master the system, right? So again, I'm not saying that. So the point I'm trying to make it that this is a complete system by itself, like Swar Shastra, like astrology. There are so many allied systems which are there to help us in different areas of journey of our lives, right? So in by itself, this is a complete system, can be used in all the 3 areas as I mentioned. So this is what US Pullipani has written in the introduction of this book. So again, many of you might know, this is the book Biorhythm of Natal Moon by US Pullipani. This has the details of PanchaPakshi system, which we are going to discuss today. So this is my base, and there are other books also from different South Indian authors, but I believe this is the most authentic of all texts which is available today. And pretty exhaustive book. There are like hundreds and hundreds of tables in it. There are So again, this system has like layers to it. As I said, this is a complete system by itself, so it has multiple layers to it. What we are going to do is we are going to just scratch the surface today, because that's what we can do in like an hour or 2 from now. So coming back to the introduction to the subject, so these are the words, quote unquote, from Dr. US Pullipani. The mysterious PanchaPakshi, biorhythms of natal moon, as I have termed, is a down-to-earth practical system, a golden key in the hand of man, which can be applied with advantage for all matters in day-to-day life and by individuals in all walks of life, to lead a successful life with complete gratification, both in mental, physical, and even in spiritual pains. So he's making it clear that it is a complete system. It can lead you to a successful life in all spheres of life. So mental, physical, and spiritual planes, right? So it's a pretty wonderful system, pretty exhaustive. So let's meet the PanchaPakshis. So these are the PanchaPakshis that we have in the system. We have Vulture, Owl, Peacock, Crow, and the Cock. So these are our PanchaPakshis. Now each of these PanchaPakshis have their own characteristics, right? And what I will do is we will first talk about the PanchaPakshis, their characteristics, and then we will also touch upon like how is this system, how does the system work? Like how do we know, how do we utilize the system? Again, we will not go into like too many details, but I will give you a flavor of like how the system works, like what are the different parameters which helps you to determine what is a good time, what is a bad time, depending on your PanchaPakshi. So that is what we are going to cover in today's session. And in the end, I will also take some examples. Again, the examples are from the book itself. There is nothing which is like, so the examples are also from the book. Few shocking examples, and this is what these examples are given by none other than Mr. K.N. Rao. So Mr. K.N. Rao has written the introduction of the book, and in the introduction itself, he has given 2 examples. I will talk about those towards the end. So our first Pakshi is Vulture. So Vulture stage of life is boyhood, faculty is creative, sense object is sound, condition is walking, feeling is attachment, taste is sweet, body indication is bone, body indication is also flesh. And sense organ, speech, suffering, ignorance, divine duty, create, magic is to attract, parts of the body is face, land region is mountain, eatables is fish, tense is future, element is earth, color is black, and it's a mula. Now these are the characteristics of the Vulture Panchpakshi. Likewise, we will have the characteristics for all the Panchpakshis. Now, the way to understand these characteristics is it can be very important from the perspective of Hurari, or sometimes in the mundane astrology it can be useful, and sometimes it can be useful in the natal horoscopy. Like we know the characteristics of nakshatras, signs, and the planets, right? So there are so many significations of each of them. So likewise, we have these are the significations of this Panchpakshi Vulture. Now, where to use these significations will become very interesting as we go deeper into the subject. But again, this is like the basics. So Vulture is like one of the birds, and then the stage of the life is boyhood for Vulture. And again, there are colors associated with it. There are Jeev, Mool, Dhatu, which is associated. So there is an element, Panchatattva is also associated. It's earthly in nature, right? So land region is mountain. So likewise, all these characteristics are given, and probably there are more characteristics for each of these Panchpakshis are given. So if your Panchpakshi, if your Panchpakshi based on your natal horoscope, if your Panchpakshi is Vulture, some of these characteristics may resonate well with you, right? Or be it like your if you are looking at somebody's chart, somebody has come to you for consultation, you are looking at his or her chart, then these are some of the characteristics which you might have to keep in mind as you talk to that person, as you start to understand the person, right? Because these are like clues, and sometimes these are the things which will help you in one, understanding the person, and also understanding the nature of the problem that person may have. Like here, one of the thing is feeling is attachment. So if somebody has a Panchpakshi of Vulture, so their feeling is attachment. So they are probably too attached to things. So I mean, they may come to you with some emotional issues with their partners or their children. So something related to attachments or boundings which they have with the worldly things. So you may often see that kind of issues with the person with the Vulture as the Panchpakshi. Likewise, their suffering is ignorance. They probably suffer because of ignorance. So there are things which they can see, but they probably ignore it. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you are dealing with somebody who has Panchpakshi as Vulture. So again, these are significant clues. These are characteristics of each bird. They have their deeper meanings, but I think for us to be successful in this session, all we need to understand is there are different characteristics for each bird which are available here. And again, this video will be available to you either via YouTube or Thinkific. So you can always go and look back to this table. Likewise, for owl, the stage of life is youth. Faculty is knowledgeable, sense organ is touch, condition is dream, feeling is anger. So for an owl person, the feeling is they are typically, their feeling is the typical feeling of anger. The taste is salty, body indication sweat, body indication urine, sense organ is hand, suffering is pride, divine duty is sustain. So you have divine duty, which is sustain, maintain, and destruction. So you have the divine duty of sustenance. So like Vishnu, they are the sustainers. And then you have magic is arouse, part of the body is neck, land region is forest, eatables cock, tense is all three. So they are found in, they are talking about all the senses, all the times. We saw vulture is mostly futuristic. Here the element is water. For vulture, we saw the element was Prithvi or earth. Color is red. And here the Jeev Mool Dhatu is Jeev here. So these are the characteristics of owl. Crow is a youthful man. So stage in the life is man. We saw this one is boyhood, this one is youth, and now we are dealing with man. Then faculty is lustful, sense object is share and see, condition is sleep, feeling is lust, taste is astringent, body indicators hunger, body indicator is thirst, sense organ leg, suffering is greed, divine duty is destroy. So we spoke about divine duty of create, sustain, and then third one is destroy. So crow is destroy. Magic is arrest. Part of the body is chest. So we move from head, face to now chest. Land region is field. Eatables are meat. Tense is future. So crow is future. Crow, also like vulture, is mostly interested in future tense, future. Element is fire. So we saw Prithvi, earth, and then water for owl, and here we have element of fire. Color is golden and it is dhatu. For cock, we have stage is old man. So we saw boyhood, youth, man, and now we are looking at old man. Cock is old man. Faculty is primordial, taste is the sense object, condition is sleep, deep sleep. Feeling is be numbled, which is basically being numb, senseless. Taste is sore. Body indication is grumble. When you age, you grumble. So that's why cock is grumble. And then body indications is walking. Sense organ is anus. Suffering is hatred. Divine duty is hide. So here it is hide. We saw create, sustain, destroy, but here it is hide. Magic is restrain. Part of the body is stomach. So we saw head, face, chest, and now stomach. And then land region, seashore. Tense is present. Element is air. Color is white. And this is also a mula. Then we have peacock, which is stage of divine man. So after old man, this is divine man. Faculty is divine. Sense object is smell. Condition is ecstasy. Feeling is aroused. Taste is bitter. Body indication is fear and lust. Sense organ is urinal. Suffering, ego. Divine duty is bless. Magic is establish. Part of the body is thighs. Land region is desert. Eatables bird. Tense is past. They always talk about past, things in the past. Element is ether. Ether we all know, Akash Tattva. And then color is green, dhatu, and it is dhatu. So these are some of the characteristics of all of these 5 birds. Now, how do you determine like what is a PanchaPakshi of a particular native? So the method to determine the PanchaPakshi is dependent on 3 factors. One is the nakshatra of moon, the nakshatra of moon, and then which paksha it is falling. So these are your 2 parameters. So if moon is in Shukla Paksha and let's say it is in Chitra Nakshatra, then you know the PanchaPakshi is going to be crow for that person. So, and you have to start counting of nakshatras from 1 for Ashwini and 27 for Revati. So Chitra will be your 14th number nakshatra, will be So if it is Shukla Paksha, which means bright half of the moon, and 14th number nakshatra is Chitra, so the Panch Pakshi is going to be crow. So far, so good.
Yeah, proper.
So after we determine the PanchaPakshi of a native and for yourself, or so, right? So then we should know about the activities of PanchaPakshi. So each PanchaPakshi goes through 5 different activities during a day. These 5 activities are eating, walking, ruling, sleeping, and dying. So eating is when you are eating, so you are rejuvenating yourself. You are getting the food which is going to give you energy to sustain for another 3 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour. I mean, for however long, depending on the amount, the kind of work that you do, right? So when you are eating, you are rejuvenating yourself. You are becoming stronger. Your strength at this time is 0.75 on a scale of 0 to 1. So you are like second highest in terms of your energy. And these strengths will also come into play as we see what time our PanchaPakshi is strong. So we will come to the strength part of it, but just keep in mind this as the second highest strength out of the 5 stages of each PanchaPakshi. Then we are walking. So after you have eaten, you are going to walk, you are going to take an action, you are going to move, right? So let's say I eat my breakfast, get ready, go to my office, and then rule. Rule is to work, rule is to earn, right? So then I'm going to go to my office and then work in my office or my workplace, right? So basically, even if I have my business or even if I have a job, I'm going to rule, I'm going to work there in my workplace. That is my ruling, my strength, and the desire there is to succeed. It is also a activity which is associated with winning, right? And this is where my strength is highest. So this is my highest strength activity. After I've eaten, I've gone to the office or my workplace and I have ruled, which means I've worked, I've earned my bread. Then I'm going to come back to home. I'm going to relax. I'm going to sleep, right? So I'm going to relax. I'm going to spend time with the family. So this is my sleeping. So here my strength is from 1, my strength is coming to 0.25. So which means there is a drastic depletion of energy in the body. And this is the time in which I'm planning to kind of relax a bit. I'm very tired. I've done all my duties of the day. So I'm very tired at this point of time. I'm not going to do anything new magical, but I'm just going to sit back, relax, probably watch TV, right? And then after watching TV or after relaxing for a bit, I'm going to probably sleep or die. So that is my 5th state of the PanchaPakshi. And I'm just giving you an example in the, like, how you can relate to these activities of PanchaPakshi in a day of life. Right? So there are 5 activities of PanchaPakshi: eat, walk, rule, sleep, die. Each PanchaPakshi has to go through these activities during the day. And in terms of your strength of these activities, ruling has the highest strength. So if your PanchaPakshi is in the ruling state, anything that you do during that time is bound to succeed. Anything that you do when your PanchaPakshi is in the state of dying or sleeping, it's bound to fail. That's how we kind of utilize the system. Anything which you do while you are walking or eating probably is going to give results, but maybe late, maybe with struggle, it's going to give result. So your ruling, anything you do during the ruling time, it will definitely, it means you will be successful in most of the cases. it's highly likely that you will be successful for whatever you do during that ruling period. When you are eating also, chances of success is 0.75. So I mean, you are still stronger than all the other activities. So ruling, eating is second highest, then walking, then sleeping and dying. So these are your 5 stages. Somebody has a question.
Sir, how do we determine the timings? Like,
We'll come to it.
okay.
Now here are the meaning which is given, which is basically which is how it is given in this book. Eating, this activity is nothing but renewal of body cells, and thereby the renewal of functional energy is thus affected. Walking is to eat, bread has to be earned. For earning, movement is necessary. This movement is the walking activity. And third activity, which is ruling, is the process of earning itself, is the activity of ruling. Sleeping, after eating, walking, ruling, the system gets exhausted due to prolonged exertion, resulting in the need to relax. This relaxing process is the sleeping activity. And then by repeated processes of 4 activities frequently, the body in which the soul resides completely degenerates and reaches an extreme point when the functioning of these 4 activities is no more possible. At this stage, the soul departs from the old body to take and enter into another new suitable body by the way of reincarnation. So this is about dying. So this is the meaning of each activities. So now we have understood what our Panchapakshis are, what are the different activities they will undertake. Now, the question about timing. How do we know what is the activity of my Panchapakshi during a time of the day? So the time of the day, the way to determine the state or the activity of the Panchapakshi is this. So here in this system, what do we do is each day is divided into 5 yamas, which are each of 2 hours and 48 minutes, which is basically equivalent to 6 ghatikas. 6 ghatikas, whichever way you want to call it. We all know that 1 ghati is equals to 24 minutes. It is our ancient unit of timing, right? This is how we used to. This is how our ancient used to remember or note down the time. So each day is equals to 60 ghatis, and we are fixing a period of time which is 2 hours 24 minutes, which is equivalent to 6 ghatika, and each day is divided into like 5 yamas. So 5 yamas for day, 5 yamas for night. So in that way, 10 yamas of 6 ghatikas each, that gives us 60 ghatikas. So that's how the division of time is. So day is divided into 5 yamas. Each night is divided into 5 yamas. Day starts at the sunrise. So how to determine the activity of a bird? Activity of each Panchapakshi is determined depending on what Paksha is running. Is it the bright half of the moon or the dark half of the moon, day of the week, time of the day, and whether it is a day or night time. So these 4 factors determines what activity is running. Now let me show you this tables. So I have this table. So here you can see For weekdays, Sunday and Tuesday, these are my division of time. So this is 2 hour, 24-minute window. Assuming that sunrise happened at the 6 a.m. in the morning, this is my first window. 5 birds, their activities during this time period, first yama, and then first yama, second yama, third yama, fourth yama, fifth yama. So 5 yamas in a day. So this is my 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. And then same thing will repeat for night. So 5 yamas. Then we are going to have 5 yamas in the night. So these are my division of time, and these are going to be my activities for each of the birds, each of the PanchaPakshi. So that's how we determine that, okay, which bird is, if it is Sunday on the dark half of the dark half, then what is the activity of the cock? So depending on, like, if it is 11 o'clock, then 11 o'clock for cock on Sunday is going to be sleep. Likewise, we determine like what activities are happening for each PanchaPakshi. And this is for dark half, and then you have table for bright half also. So this is the table for bright half. So this is how, I mean, again, a lot of logic. And again, we know that sunrise does not happen on 6 o'clock on all days. There are times when the sunrise will happen at 7 o'clock. There are times when the sunrise will happen at 5 o'clock, depending on time of the, depending on your longitude, latitude, right? All this will change. So this is the calculation. This is the calculative part which is involved. So now we have understood the PanchaPakshis, how to determine this, what are the 5 activities of PanchaPakshis, how to determine what activity a PanchaPakshi is doing during a given day and time based on the Paksha of moon. So I think that kind of covers up like most of the basics of this PanchaPakshi system. Now let me take you into the app to kind of tell you like how to find all these details. So let's say we'll take the chart of Amitabh Bachchan. So if you go to our basic info section, you'll be able to see PanchaPakshi. So here we know the PanchaPakshi for Amitabh Bachchan is crow. All the details.
Sorry to interrupt, Vidhan. Can you once again slowly from the home section show where to?
Yes. So we are in the open chart screen. Now let's say if I want to see open any chart, I'm going to open Amitabh Bachchan chart. Then I'm going to click here on the breadcrumb, and then I'm going to go into basic info section here.
Okay.
Once I'm in the basic info section, it tells me what is the PanchaPakshi of this native. So here, all the characteristics which we saw there on my slides, you'll be able to see it here. Right? Now the second question you will ask is, how do I know what is the activity of my PanchaPakshi during a given day and time? So for that, So this is basically, this is telling you, okay, what is your PanchaPakshi? There is another app which is your Pandit. So here it is telling me that, okay, this is basically my chart right now. So I'm not going to go into the bird details, but it is telling me that, okay, my PanchaPakshi is cock, and these are the timings: 6:15 a.m. to 8:39 a.m. It was in the death. The activity of the bird was death. It was in the dying stage, and strength was, and this is the meaning of that. So this is the time to take a break, just as it is necessary to make progress. Taking a break is also essential. Thereafter, between 8:39 and 11 o'clock, it was in the eat state. You know, eat is the second highest state of strength. And then thereafter, move, walk, or action. Thereafter, rule. So if I on this day, if I do an activity between 1:27 p.m. and 3:51 p.m., my chances of success are very, very high. Then sleep, move, sleep, eat, rule, death. So all these 5 activities will repeat twice in the day. So that's how, and again, if you go to the dashboard screen itself, it will tell you, okay, PanchaPakshi owl, this is the time for you to sleep. Again, the point is, here itself you'll be able to know, and again it gives you a lot of the other details, like what is the hora which is running, and all tithi, what is the yog tithi, and all these things are here. So like what is the current which is running, what is the chaugadiya which is running right now. So I mean, it has all the other details, but just if you want to know like what is the state of PanchaPakshi by the day, by hour and minute, it breaks it up, and it gives you clearly that, okay, what is the state of your PanchaPakshi and what are the activities to be performed, what is the total strength, and all these things are here. Okay, so anyone has any questions on whatever I've covered so far? Again, this is like your level 1 of PanchaPakshi. There is another subtle level which goes even deeper, like we are talking about 2-hour 24-minute yama, right? So under that yama also there can be subdivision. There are subdivisions of each yama also. So that's your lowest level of subdivision of time, which is prescribed in this book. So that's your but again, this yama of 2-hour 24 minutes is what we have covered today. Like all the calculations related to it, we have covered.
Does the app also, Vidhan, give further divisions of 2 or 24 minutes?
No, it does not.
I presume the book does.
Yes, the book does.
Would you be implementing that in the future?
Yes, we will be implementing it in the future.
All right. You were going to give us some examples by K and Rao.
Yes, sure.
May I ask a thing, please, here?
Yes.
Like when you look at the app in the mobile, so here I'm not getting it, PanchaPakshi. Like you said, open the chart and then click on the breadcrumb. So this basic information thing is not coming on the mobile when I open it in the mobile. I don't see the basic info in that.
Okay. So you have to do, I don't know if you're able to see my screen. So if you go into the basic info section, there is a line at the top, which is your Panchang, Navtara. And then if you just tap it and then scroll to the left, then you will be able to see the PanchaPakshi.
Vidhan, even right now I'm on the app, on the basic info.
Yeah, so basically what you will see is, you will see a screen like this. You will see
Oh, I got it. You got a vertical, horizontal.
If we go, first we go open the chart, then what we have to do?
so once you open the chart, then you have to click on basic info section. Are you with me? And then you will see Panchang, Navtara, Avkhara Chakra at the top. Now just click on the Avkhara Chakra and drag it to your left, from right to left.
Yeah, I got the PanchaPakshi now on the app.
Okay.
How do I get to know the current time PanchaPakshi?
The current, again, this app will give you the PanchaPakshi for this native as a whole. Now, if you have to see the PanchaPakshi state for that native on a given day, then you have to look into your Pandit app.
Or
So the way in our Muhurat Shastra, we are having different kind of tasks to be done at a different specific point of time. So is in PanchaPakshi also there is such kind of discrimination, like which work to be done at what point of time based
Yes.
on PanchaPakshi?
Yes. So again, all these steps, all these stages, right? So sleep, this is a time of relaxation and reflection. Use this time for reviewing the progress and planning for next step rather than making any bold moves. Right. So this is how we can use. This is the move is the time for action, but results will be moderate.
Because these are going to change, and say someone is at office, and that time it is when saying sleep. So that time he will be reviewing rather than taking any step. That's what you mean.
Correct. Yes.
So the further subdivision will make it clear, like more precise.
Correct. Right now, this is like subdivision of 2 hour 24 minute each. Now, under
Yeah,
that
you say
also there are.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I meant. Thank you. Okay.
So, but here the basic concept is like, as I said, rule is the highest level of your strength. Basically, the system, the way Mr. Pullipani has related this system is, he said that this is the biorhythm based on the natal moon. So biorhythms is like our bodies go through a rhythm of ups and downs. There are periods of ups and downs, right? And so what he says, the author says, is that if you follow that biorhythm, which is dependent on your natal moon, so all the activities, like all rule, sleep, eat, walk, all these activities will follow a pattern depending on the day of the week. So if you use that pattern to understand the highs and lows of your day, then you can probably use it for your benefit to do things which are more important during the rule time, right? So that will give you more success. So that's how he advises us to use the system. But again, this is the same system.
Actually, what I wanted to say is that basically it is like in this current screen, rule is at 1:27 a.m. to 3:51 a.m., which is basically a sleeping time for normally for us. But based on our
Sorry, you are muted.
yeah. So probably, I mean, we can prioritize our work on a specific day when the success time comes within that range.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, got that. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Now, the book also suggests that we can use it for Hurari purposes also. So what author says is that, let's say somebody is coming to you for a with a question, and you ask them to touch one of the parts of your body, and let's say the person touches the head. So we know that head is depicted by Vulture. So body indication. Yeah, the face and the head is probably in the Vulture. Sorry. Right. So here we can see the part of the body is face for Vulture. Now, if somebody comes to you with a question, and if you ask them to touch one of the parts of your body, and if that person happens to touch your face, then you know the PanchPakshi which is associated with the query is Vulture. Now, on that day and that point of time, if Vulture is in the ruling state, the answer of the question is going to be affirmative. If the person has come with a desire that will I be successful in this activity, and if he or she touches their face and Vulture during that day and time, if the Vulture is in the ruling state, then the answer of that question is going to be affirmative. So you can boldly say that you are going to achieve this thing. So this is how we can utilize the system for Hurari purposes also. For the same question, if the state of the PanchPakshi, whatever be it, is in the death state or sleeping state, then we can say the answer is going to be negative. The results will not come. So likewise, we can utilize it for Hurari purposes. Now for mundane purposes, you have to see the state of the PanchPakshi for that nation. So if you have the chart of India, right, you can create the chart of India. You can also see the events which are happening. Like I was just looking at, like, when the demonetization happened, the state of the PanchPakshi was relax, or it was sleep. It was not death, but it was sleep. So you can kind of correlate these mundane events also with the state of PanchPakshi. Now let's see how to apply some of the examples which I said mentioned by Shri K.N. Rao sir in this book. So his examples. So this is on the natal horoscope. Indira Gandhi chart on Wednesday, on the day of the death of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Her PanchPakshi is cock, and it was on 31st of October 1984. It was dying between this time, and I think she died around during this particular period of time. So Another example, Rajiv Gandhi on 21st May 1991. His PanchaPakshi is owl, and the state of the PanchaPakshi was dying between 8:24 a.m. and 10:48 p.m. Sorry, it should be a.m. No, p.m. So on March 21st, 1991, owl was the PanchaPakshi of Shri Rajiv Gandhi, and it was in the dying stage between this 8:24 and 10:48 p.m. and his reported time of death was 10:10 p.m.
Indira Gandhi was 9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m. Okay. So yeah, it was in the sleep.
Yeah, that's still valid.
So I mean, if you want, I can also take you to the example of demonetization.
Excuse me,
Yes.
you mean to say dying time means it's just like death?
Yes.
Okay.
Symbolically.
Symbolically, I mean, it is.
Yeah,
some-
yeah, yeah.
It
It's
is
just like
symbolically death, but at the time of death also, it may be. There is a good possibility that at the time of the death of a person, the
Like in,
PanchaPakshi state can also
Panch-
be in the death.
Like in Panchang, there is a Vat Tara, same way, dying.
Yeah, what Tara is there. You can say it is.
Because we never select Vat Tara Muhurat for any good thing.
Yeah,
So
it's for
that's the only
Muhurat purposes. Muhurat purposes, yes, what Tara should not be selected.
right. And same way,
But
dying
again,
time is
time of death.
no.
Is it always dependent on Vattara? I would say no. Again, there are more to the Vattara. So that's a separate subject.
Sir, in this PanchaPakshi, is there any opposing bird theory also there? Like for one PanchaPakshi, some other PanchaPakshi is bad or good?
Yes. So, like I said, for the system is a complete system in itself. It has its application in matchmaking also. And what the author recommends is that at the time of matchmaking, you should look at the PanchaPakshi of both bride and groom, and they should not be enemies to each other. He has also given what PanchaPakshis are friends and which are enemies to each other. Let me see if I can get to that.
My question was like, while in business transactions, suppose I know the other person is having a PanchaPakshi, which is opposing to me at a particular time, he can be stronger than me if it is his success time, right?
Correct. So that's another way of using it, right? So if you are having a business transaction, if you are doing a negotiation with somebody, your PanchaPakshi is in the ruling state and the other person's PanchaPakshi is not in the ruling state. You have
Better
more
chance.
leverage there. You may be
Yeah.
able to better negotiate the terms.
Mm.
Right. So that's and then there are directions associated with PanchaPakshi also. So what author says is that if your PanchaPakshi is not strong, but you know that a particular PanchaPakshi will be in the ruling state during a particular time, then what you can do is you can choose the direction of the PanchaPakshi which is in the ruling state, and you can be in that direction, and you can then have that negotiation, have that discussion, have that have a conversation with that direction. You can use that direction for your success.
Yeah, thank you.
For matchmaking, I mean, if you want to know, like for vulture, peacock and owl, maybe I should include that in slide. Peacock and owl are friends. For vulture, crow and cock are enemies. For owl, vulture and crow are friends. Cock and peacock are enemies. For crow, Cock and owl are friends. Vulture and peacock are enemies. For cock, owl and peacock are friends. Vulture and owl are enemies. For peacock, vulture and cock are friends. Owl and crow are enemies. So this is what you can use for matchmaking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So again, this book has a lot of other secrets into it. There are lot of details the author has included. And again, this is a science which is coming from Tamil Siddhas, the ancients from Tamil Nadu. It was written in the original text, or the original manuscript is available in the ancient Tamil language. So so that's how the system is available to us.
Can you please share the name of the book, because I have joined little late?
Biorhythms of Natal Moon.
Biorhythm of Natal.
Yes. Biorhythms of Natal Moon.
And written by?
S Pullipani.
Please repeat. US?
S Pullipani.
PU.
I'll type it out in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Vidhan sir, I have posted the book URL in the chat section.
Thank
If
you.
anybody interested, they can have a look at it.
Yes.
The Biorhythms of Natal Chart.
Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, can you please come again on the friends and enemies part a little slowly?
So vulture, peacock, and owl are friends. Which one are you missing?
Only this one I grasped, and the others, like most of them, I'm missing something or the other.
Okay. Vulture, peacock, and owl are friends. Crow and cock are enemies. For owl, vulture and crow are friends. Cock and peacock are enemies. For crow, cock and owl are friends. Vulture and peacock are enemies. For cock, owl and peacock are friends. Vulture and owl are enemies. Now here, I just noticed for cock, owl is mentioned as friend also, and owl is also mentioned as enemy also. Which is surprising, but anyways, this is what is given in the book. I'm just repeating what is given in the book without my opinion or insight. And for peacock, vulture and cock are friends. Owl and crow are enemies. That'd be good. Sunil sir, I think
Yeah.
I'm good. So over to you.
All right. Any questions by anybody? What I would suggest to people is to keep on observing their day-to-day events. And if you are a serious student of astrology, by now you would be keeping an Excel sheet like how I used to do, where I could type events, but that was cumbersome. What I would suggest, if somebody can suggest an app by, we can, maybe Vidhan can make this app in 2 hours, where we can type our events, and I often miss many a times when I'm traveling. And so I miss typing those events. And phone, of course, is very bad on me or my eyes, especially people on my age side. So, but still, that's the only option when you're traveling, your phone. An app where you can type the event, the date and time is automatically noted down. It's a very simple app that can be made beautifully. Probably it can be linked to Saptarishis app. It can be linked to, where daily you note down the events on each particular chart. I know
Sir,
you have a notebook section also, yes.
yeah, so you can actually do that. So if you open a chart in the app, and then if you click on this note section, you can add events you can put like date of the event, and then if the date is exact date, then you can obviously type in it is the approx date. If it's the approx month, then you can type in all these things and you can save it. And these are available.
Is it possible to add a time section to it also?
Time section, you can use this section you can type in here. I mean, time, you can include it here.
No. Okay. All right. That's a good point. Maybe in the future we can just add a quick time section or something. I do not know.
No, I mean, it can be done.
Yeah. So people can then go back and check what was the PanchaPakshi running. If it's automatically saved. Like many times, when we are writing an article, we Google and we note down Indira Gandhi's time of death. 5 years later, okay, when I'm checking PanchaPakshi, I'm not getting it, because I wrote that article 5 years back. So something when it is noted down. So something then also that comes across, you write so and so event, and I still remember in the ADB old software, which no longer available. After 2009, it was not available. They used to have a drop-down menu where you could label the event, good event, bad event, and a category could also be given, where you have charts which are rags to riches story. So that category is given. Then scandal, that category is given. So it happens faster today. The world has moved to everything becoming shorter and faster. So we could do that, and I would like people to explore this, read this book. Okay, it's not something to be taken lightly. Is what I would call it. Some of the best astrologers in the world use it. The only thing earlier apps were not doing it. Were giving us, or some apps were only separate for PanchaPakshi. Now you have an app which is integrated with your birth chart. So that's a good point. And after this lecture started, I remembered way back in 2000, I had gone and met Sri S Pullipani at his house in Chennai. Big house he had. Sitting in his veranda, we had quite a big conversation. Old days. And that time I had gone from official point of view. I was working in ZTV International. So we were starting an astrology thing. So for that I had met him. He was quite elderly at that point of time. Then later, after a few years, I heard he was no more. But explore this, everybody, and just quickly before we wind up, these videos of Vidhan would be released on YouTube from Sunday, Monday onwards. We have few videos to edit. We've been a bit active on YouTube, and it would also be live, in the live section. So you all can go and see if you are now go on YouTube. Okay, some of the old videos that we have done. Okay, some of the classes, etc., and all that. Okay, we have now put it live. So you all can enjoy that. Vidhan, would you like to have you thought about what would be the next lecture?
I was thinking maybe we can, there are few things in my mind. One is Tattvas at birth. I don't think people talk about it. Then other topic is, we also, like in the last session also, somebody was asking me about the circular chart. So maybe circular chart can be another topic.
Yeah, that could be nice actually. Tattvas and circular chart. Or there could be another method also. I leave it to you. We via your app, we go via each link in a systematic manner so that people keep on remembering how to use the app. And for each link, whatever you have to teach that, even if it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then in one lecture, you can cover 2-3 topics that way. So it's actually like this, the way I had envisaged this, and probably my PanchaPakshi must have been active at that point of time in a good phase. Right now, it's in a relaxed phase. So I'm pretty relaxed right now, So at that time, I just got up, I called up Vidhan, and I said, let's do this. So I'd envisaged a complete course in astrology, So if we just follow this app, step by step, we keep on learning. So by the end of this journey, 6 months, 9 months, whatever, okay, you all are getting each feature of an app. It's like a complete. So I'll tell you why this is needed. I'm hooked on to Jagannath Hora. When I came on the computer screen, it was Jagannath. Okay. So that app was there. It remained on to me. Because for me, there are only 2 charts I require. I use birth chart, I use D60. So for me, any app is fine, and using it on the phone is difficult for me, So desktop also, I find it very difficult to use Jagannath because of my Mavian glands problem in my eyes. So I require a big thing. So do you have with Saptarishis app? You have it on website, and at the same time you have it on app also. I especially require Saptarishis app because I need to instantly see Dagda Rashi. Whenever I do Prashna, the first thing I see is Dagda Rashi. You all should take that as a big secret. You can just ask Dinesh how he and me have experimented. Every day we do 3, 4 Prashnas. Dagda Rashi means it is untouchable area and the most easiest area to predict. I'm telling this to young ones in astrology. Okay. So Vidhan in his app, if you can share the app, has given burning signal, which is the meaning of Dagda Rashi, burnt Rashi. Just give me a second, guys, please.
While Sunil sir is coming back, like if you open any chart, you will see the symbol. This is like the fire symbol, and this is telling you that these 2 signs are the Dagda Rashis for this particular chart. And again, those signs continues in the divisional chart also. So even for each divisional chart, you'll see Aries and Leo are the Dagda Rashis. So yeah.
Each divisional chart, it gives you the Dagda Rashi, which is very important, So it really helps you which area of a person's life is going to be challenging or super challenging. Which planets which are placed with Dagda Rashi, those Karakattvas or their lordships will be super challenging or challenging. Same way in the Prashna, if I see this Prashna, then I would say 10th house and 2nd house related issues can be challenging for this person, or where their lord goes and sits. So that's about it. Maybe Vidhan, you could take it up in a very systematic manner, your complete app, and it becomes like a classes for everybody, you know.
Yes. Yes.
All right, any questions, anybody? I hope you all enjoyed the session. And we'll
Yes,
take this further.
Sunil sir, I have a question.
Sure.
Can you share your experience of using PanchPakshi? Something amazing thing which you had?
I was doing it, I don't know, 1995.
Okay.
94 was Swara Shastra. 94 was Swara Shastra. And I was in college at that time, in the film college, you know. So Swara Shastra was something I remember. PanchPakshi, I don't remember honestly something. Honestly, I don't. Swara Shastra, a lot of, then it became an addiction in college. You know, everybody then comes and asks you, you know, that what happens. Then you, every time in front of them, you test which one is flowing, what is the
Which
strength
one?
of it.
Yeah.
And it becomes an addiction, it becomes a plaything for them. But then I had kept it very secret. Only my friend Adarsh knew it. So he used to always, he would say, "Kya hoega?" karke, he used to hint at it. We are in a group. So I do this. People will say, "What's happening to him? Why is he digging the nose?" You know. So I used to predict at that time. It was pretty successful. Okay, pretty successful. I did misuse Swara Shastra for a job I desperately wanted. Dhara Shah is asking, Sunil sir, please have Google Pay system. It's useful to purchase books. I would have to ask that to Vinayak. Let me do that. I was in a job and I was out of job for 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months. And this is a big job I would get in Z at 3 times my current salary. At that time, I misused it to win over the intern. I realized it how pathetic in life of a person had become. Swara Shastra, you can misuse it very easily to win jobs, win contracts, to fascinate women, what we call in Bombay language, patana. So, वो सब बचपना है, you're young at that time. You know? Even now, I feel I haven't matured enough. You know, still many more things. The only thing I realize now is anything you do with mystic science, in every event of your life, but here gods are involved in a far, far advanced stages because you are using God's supreme power, like Indra Dhanush Brahmastra, and you can't misuse. How many times I want to release my videos with a given good muhurta and all that? I don't do that. Or launch an session with good muhurta. I don't do that, which ideally I should, because muhurta is not that much of an occult compared to PanchaPakshi or Swara Shastra. But Swara Shastra comes under Lord Shiva's domain. I've been wanting to start a Swara Shastra since the last 5 years. I have the guy to do it also. Okay. His presentation I altered, etc. It's not happening. There are so many courses. It just does not happen. Because when you submit yourself to money and fame, it will happen because of your willpower. When after a certain stage in life, when you've seen the ups and downs of life, you submit it, you start automatically submitting yourself to the will of God. So वो जब उसका will होता है, that time it happens or it doesn't.
Correct.
Same thing PanchaPakshi also, you know, it's because it is actually very finite. You know, right now Vidhan has not given you the breakup of 2 hour 24 minutes, the 6 gatikas. When you do that, each of the Pakshi repeats. Each of the Pakshi repeats. So then it's a table. Within owl you will get vulture, this, that, etc. and all that. Then that mix and match happens. So it gets very intricate, very finite. You know, it's like finding out, you know, which I had told in one of my first interviews, it's like finding out those 7 minutes of your life per day. Those 7 minutes are those events, is that period of time where the grahas have the least amount of control on it. It's like free will bonanza. Buy one, get 7 free.
Wow.
So calculating that, first and foremost, most astrologers don't know that. If I remember, Rao Sahib has written that in his book. Okay, I can be wrong, but I remember clearly. Calculating that can be a fascination to get that formula. But what will you do by getting that formula? You can expand your luck only to a certain extent. The rest, your karma will seep in. Let me end the session with a very beautiful line which I had reserved for my beginner's class. I was going to take this Saturday theory on karma, the different parts of karma, but today it will not happen. My health is really bad. Only last night I've recovered after 1 week of very extreme bad health and no food at all for 1 week. Mahatma Gandhi is reportedly said to have said, God retired after he invented karma because it became an automatic cycle for him. If you really think on this, once you invented the law of karma, what does God need to do? Nothing. Everything is karma. Even when he takes birth on earth, whether as Sri Ram or Lord Krishna, everything goes as per karma, as per the law of karma. So even he has to obey his own law. It's the same way for us. How much will we achieve? There's no end to fame. There's no end to power. There's no end to so many things in it. Money, lust, greed, the Shadritus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now my Pakshi is relaxing, so I must relax. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you.